Hello, today we'll be talking about nicotine and tobacco products.
So what is nicotine? Nicotine is a toxic, colorless, or yellowish, oily liquid that is the chief active chemical compound in tobacco products. Nicotine acts as a stimulant in small doses, but larger amounts block the action of the autonomic nerve and skeletal muscle cells. Nicotine is highly addictive and is also a commonly used ingredient of insecticides. Yuck.
Nicotine is a drug. It's a stimulant, toxic in high doses, highly addictive, can change your brain chemistry, and it's found in tobacco and vape products.
If nicotine is unsafe, why do you think people still choose to use products that have nicotine? Well, the answer to this question could be that people use nicotine in e-cigarettes due to various factors. Peer pressure, to look cool, more grown up, or to feel popular. People may use it for relaxation, despite nicotine having the opposite effect. Nicotine is usually, addiction is usually the real reason. Once you start, you can't stop. Did you know tobacco use kills 480,000 people in the United States each year? More than 16 million Americans live with smoking-related disease. Each day, more than 2,500 kids try their first cigarette. And every 34 seconds, tobacco kills a person.
Nicotine addiction, how does it affect your brain? Nicotine also stimulates the pleasure centers of the brain, mimicking neurotransmitters such as dopamine and acetylcholine. Your brain starts to associate nicotine use with feeling good. Nicotine changes your brain over time, which leads to withdrawal symptoms when you try to quit. Symptoms of withdrawal include anxiety, irritability, and a strong craving for nicotine. Many people reach for another cigarette to ease the effects of withdrawal.
The neurochemical effects of nicotine. There's various neurotransmitters that nicotine stimulates the release of, and their associated effects on the body can be tremendous. Most of these bodily effects are perceived positively by the tobacco user. Therefore, nicotine creates many effects that reinforce tobacco use behavior. Some of these effects include pleasure, arousal, increased cognitive enhancement, memory enhancement, mood modulation, appetite suppression, and reduction of anxiety and tension.
Where can you find nicotine? This highly addictive drug can be found in various different forms. It can be found in tobacco and comes from tobacco leaves. Nicotine is found in cigarettes, and tobacco companies made cigarettes more addictive by adding, controlling, and increasing nicotine levels and enhancing the impact of nicotine by adding other chemicals. Most hookahs contain nicotine and can have a lot of the same negative health effects. Pods and e-juices used in e-cigs or vapes can contain varying levels of nicotine. Nicotine gum and patches are also available. These can be potentially used as a tool to aid in cessation.
The two methods of consumption. Various nicotine and tobacco products have varying effects depending on how they enter the body. The first method is smoking or inhalation. This brings the nicotine to the lungs, which then sends it to the brain. This process is very fast, taking only 7 to 10 seconds, which provides the user with a quick buzz. The second method of consumption is through the mucous membranes, which is where the nicotine is absorbed through the mucous membranes in the mouth or nostrils. And this process is relatively slower, about 10 to 20 seconds to create a buzz. This picture here shows various different methods of consumption and their relative content of nicotine.
The cycle of nicotine addiction. Nicotine is extremely addictive. The human brain can develop such a strong dependence on the drug that the nicotine user can no longer control their desire or smoking behaviors. The addiction cycle is powered by the body's biological reaction to nicotine and isn't controlled by the person smoking. The cycle of addiction begins when nicotine enters the body. It activates the pleasure centers of the brain. After use, the body's nicotine levels drop quickly. The drop in nicotine levels causes the body to have such a strong craving for nicotine that it's only satisfied by bringing more into the body.
Based on this information, what could you say to someone that says that they won't let themselves get addicted to nicotine? Well, my answer would be that it's physically impossible for someone to not allow themselves to get addicted to nicotine if they use it regularly. And this is because it changes the way your brain works and it changes you on a physiological level. It's not simply just a mental addiction. Some negative consequences of using tobacco and nicotine products include trouble breathing, higher risk of developing over 13 different types of cancer, higher risk of stroke, loss of brain volume and cognitive decline, increased risk of dementia, coughing and chronic bad breath, stained teeth and fingers, and early aging and wrinkles. The bottom line is smoking is the leading preventable cause of death in the United States.
How much does tobacco use cost? So it's $7 per pack for 7 days is $49, and then $49 a week for 4 weeks is $196, and then $196 per month times 12 months to get a year is $2,352, and then that number times 10 years is $23,520.
So in other words, tobacco use is incredibly expensive, and this is drawn up based on if you were to smoke a pack a day. So the tobacco industry, I'd say it's important for you to be aware that the addictiveness of tobacco products is no coincidence. The use of nicotine in tobacco products is a choice made by big tobacco executives to ensure that their users get hooked. From a business standpoint, having customers that are addicted to a product ensures that they have a consistent customer base that will continue to buy their products. So this graphic here actually shows some of the various things that tobacco companies add to cigarettes, such as flavorings, which mask the harshness of smoke and make the products more appealing to new users and especially young people. They simply increase the nicotine content to basically control the delivery and amount of nicotine, which ensures your addiction. Some cigarettes have menthol, which was actually just now made illegal. And menthol cools and numbs the throat to reduce irritation, and it makes the smoke feel more smooth. They add ammonia compounds, which increases the speed that the nicotine hits the brain, essentially. They've added sugars and acetaldehyde, which is added sugars, which make the smoke easier to inhale and enhances nicotine's addictive effects. They've also added bronchodilators, which opens the airways in your lungs, and this allows the smoke to pass easier into the lungs. So yeah.
Secondhand smoking. Secondhand smoking is a combination of the smoke coming from the burning end of a lit cigarette, cigar, cigarillo, or pipe, and the smoke that is exhaled by a smoker. This smoke contains cancer-causing agents and there is no safe level of secondhand smoke.
So take some time to think, is your community 100% smoke free? Just think about, where children are out playing. Is there people out there smoking? Because I mean, there's a chance that they're being exposed to cancerous chemicals and stuff, and that's just not right. So the good news is you can quit. The great majority of negative health effects that are attributed to smoking can be reduced or even eliminated by quitting. 70% of smokers express the desire to quit. Don't give up. Quitting for good can take up to 8 to 12 tries. Some positive reasons for you to quit include improving your appearance, saving lots of money, being a good role model to your kids and other people in the community. Show your independence and your ability to conquer this. It's a hard addiction to overcome, and you can do it. And to just improve your overall health and well-being, eliminate all those negative health effects that are associated with it. So this graphic here shows various different methods for smoking cessation. This involves some nicotine replacement therapy. There's long-acting and short-acting ones. And for the best effect, they say combine both. So the patch, you wear it on your arm for 24 hours at a time. And this can be used to wean yourself down, wean your addiction down, and kind of mitigate some of those withdrawal symptoms that you may experience along the way, as well as the lozenge, gum, and nasal sprays or inhalers. And they also have some non-nicotine replacement therapies available. This includes Chantix, which is designed to decrease cravings, reduce withdrawal, and dampen nicotine-induced reward pathway. And it's simply just a pill you take every day. They also have Wellbutrin, which is also another drug designed to reduce cravings and withdrawal. And with electronic cigarettes, this is kind of a iffy kind of area here, kind of a gray area. And I'd say patients should try to avoid using traditional cigarettes with e-cigs to minimize adding known harms to unknown harms. And I'd say reserve use until after FDA approved treatments have failed. This is more of a last resort. Well, thank you guys for participating in this presentation. And if you have any questions, please contact us at moprevention@pfh.org or visit our website for more information. And yeah.